Hello everyone. So you know my routine now. I normally come on like 1 minute early to check the sound. I've already got a thumbs up. Does that mean everything is okay? Give me some more thumbs up, guys. If you can hear me perfectly. Is this all good? Are we working before I start chatting away? Thumbs up, thumbs up. You can hear me? Come on guys, give me the thumbs up. All good? All okay? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, look, I've changed up my mug tonight, guys. Yesterday I had the A. Today I've got keep calm, I should say, and Pastor Scott. Welcome. Thank you for joining. What are we on? Episode 5. Wowza, that is flying. Episode 5 of Scotty Talks. Before we start off, I just want to say some thank yous. Huge thank yous to the messages that I got after yesterday's show with Beth. Because it's always so nice to read your comments, what you think and the feedback, what kind of stuff you like hearing. So thank you. My next thank you, I have to say, hi everyone tuning in. Biscuits, wait, I'm coming to that. Let me do my next thank you, then I'll show you my biscuits. And thank you to Zem, who created another magical piece of artwork today with Stacey for the announcement that she was our guest on today's show. So Zem Clark, go check her out, everyone, because she is so super talented. Biscuits. You asking for the biscuits. Okay, I've changed it up today for you. Here's the biscuits. Can you see? I've got some chocolate ones in there, some hobnobs. Mum, I know what you'd say. You know, always at Christmas or when you have people over, when I was growing up, my mum always used to say, "Ow, get out the fancy biscuits," because you had fancy people come around or it was a celebration. So Mum, yes, I got the fancy biscuits out today. Hey! Okay, so a new feature on Scotty Talks is, you may already have seen on my Instagram, we are going to do a show and tell. Because I was thinking, talking with friends, every time we had Dina Asher Smith on, she showed us her Barbie doll, which was incredible. Lucy Bonds came on, showed us Nala, her dog, who she was talking about. And yesterday, Beth came on and she showed us her league medal. And so I was thinking, obviously I've decorated the den for you for Scotty Talks. And I was thinking, I've got stuff in here that I haven't even opened because we all know life is just fast paced. And everything that's going on at the moment, we've all hit the pause button and we're getting time to go through stuff, connect with people. Hi, everyone joining in. So my show and tell, what is in the box? So look, I got sent this box and haven't even opened it. So right now, for you lot, let's do this. Okay, so in this box, we have quite a few actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I didn't even know that, wow. Okay, and in each one of these bags are, what's this on? Look guys, my England caps. This one is when wow, this is old school. This is when we played China in 2015. And then this one, October, played against Australia. See? Look at that. So guys, that's my show and tell. Every time you play for England, you actually, well, in tournaments and games, you get caps. You actually get England caps. So now, well, I haven't got time to go through them all for you, the 6 that are in here. But how special. Okay, so let's get, my mum's messaging me saying she can't get on, so I hope everyone is okay and this is working. So I want to talk about our next guest, who I think is absolutely incredible. Blow some smoke up her bum before she comes on. Because even before she was on Strictly, I absolutely thought she was incredible. I don't know the amount, but she's done like over 80 documentaries or so. There's so much more than that most probably. But I love speaking to inspiring women who have pushed the boundaries and continue to push the boundaries in what they do. And that's why I was so excited when she agreed to come on. And it's Stacey Dooley, everyone. Obviously, Stace, drop me a message so I can connect with you and we can start this convo, please. If you are on there, I hope she's on here. Stacey! Just waiting. She is. Stacey, she is absolutely... Oh, here she is. Tell her she's incredible as she comes on. Connecting.
Hey, girl! Hello,
Stace, what is happening?
Let me move this. I'm totally incapable of doing these bloody videos. How are you?
You know, it's only me. Like, I've created a dem because I'm trying to
Cheers,
make this more
sis.
official. Cheers, girl. Thank you for coming
Live your
on.
best life. Look at you. Them England caps are exciting.
Stace, I can't believe the box has been sitting there and I didn't even open them.
But you know what? When people sort of reference caps, I didn't think it meant actual caps.
Mm-hmm. And I can't get it out because it is in my hallway out there. But when I got to 100 caps, you get a special one. It's a gold one. And it's in a like glass case with every single game on the glass that I've ever played for England.
Gold cap, that'd suit me perfect.
Look at that bling bling. Wait, so...
He thought this was real. I said, can I ain't got that much money?
Stace, I messaged you. So I said about the new feature with the show and tell. What have you got for everyone?
Oh, yes. So I've brought a couple of things, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just get comfy. Is this breaking your heart that I've got gold coasters? So extra. Okay, so I brought you this.
No.
Stacey Dooley, who do you think you are? But hear this, Alex, right? This is the punchline. So I was desperate to make this program. I've always been a massive fan and didn't know enough about all my family, etc. La 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 la. So you go and see the kind of gene expert and you tell them everything that you know. And actually, we never got round to making a film because my family are so boring. They didn't think we had an hour.
No.
Yeah. So actually, I'm from really dull stock.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously not dull. So this is my book of all my remarkable stories that I made in my life.
Which, don't you look at that, Stace, and just think that's incredible. Like, stuff like that, from where you started, growing up and everything what you've done, that you're actually able to, like, do a book and be like, what?
I feel, do you know, it's so funny. So we're filming, I should tell you actually, Al, we're filming at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Look, so there's Kev.
Hi, Kev.
How's it going?
I was desperate for Kev and Alex to dance together, but it never happened. But I obviously love Neil.
And it did happen.
Oh, it did. What we're talking about? It did happen for 2 weeks only. And this is my friend Josh.
Hey, Alex.
Hiya, Josh.
So we're making a documentary about coronavirus, obviously from the living room, which is
like we're a part of at the moment.
Wow. But anyway, boring. We were filming and then there was a shot where all you could see was my books in the background and I thought that's so narcissistic even for me. So I had to shut the door and fucking hide them all down the back of the...
No, do you know what? Because I was thinking about doing these lives and how do I just make it a bit more like I'm in a den or whatever. Obviously, I can't go out and get decorations or do whatever because we all have to stay in. I'm the same, look. Bloody, I've got my shirt, I've got a picture of myself. I'm like,
should be
seriously.
so bloody proud. If you just tell the people watching very quickly the story about when you were desperate to get your mum tickets and about the tour. This is a lovely story.
Yeah. Do you know? Okay, we'll skip forward. We'll talk about the live tour for a minute because I did. Okay. When we got to the O2, I got quite emotional, didn't I? Yeah. And you lot had to save me a couple of times. Because the thing is, what was it? I can't remember what year, 2013 or something. My mum, everyone, absolutely loves Strictly.
So does mine. She's like beside herself.
And then so for 1 year, for a Christmas present, I was like, right, I'll go online and I'll buy my mum Strictly tickets. So I'll take her to the live tour. Like, obviously, you know, it's like a bloody raffle, isn't it? To get actually on the show, to get in the audience. But I couldn't get it. They were all out. So I was devastated. I had to go and get her another Christmas present. And then fast forward to obviously this year.
Here's an Argos foot spa, mum.
Yeah. Oh, don't tell her it's from Argos. But then, yeah, then she shows up to the O2, and obviously, not is she washing, but she's getting to watch me dance around at the O2.
Yeah, nice to imagine. It's a lovely story, that was. And your mum's such a sweetheart, actually. I met her very briefly. Blackpool.
Oh, yeah, at Blackpool, yeah.
She sort of come running up to me and she introduced herself, and she was so lovely. And she was saying, oh, I'm so nervous, you know, she's got Beyonce, she's doing the passos. And I said, no, she'll fly through, they'll love her. And she was so, so sweet. So yeah, tell her I said hello.
Oh, she's most probably watching. She's always watching in.
Hi, girl.
Wait, what was I going to say? Do you know what? I don't know if I'm allowed or I'll get told off, but how ironic that you just put up that book again, what you did. Not your book, the Who Do You Think You Are?
Oh, yeah. Have you done it? Have you done one?
Days, I'm supposed to be. I've said it. I'm so sorry. But this is just so ironic. Because of everything, Stacey, I was supposed to be going away in the next couple of weeks to start filming.
You said this to me. We spoke about this a while ago. Yes. Right, yes.
But obviously now with everything that's going on, so I might end up with a book like yours. And
but you know what, Al? It will happen, and it will be something you're so proud of, and you'll have that forever to reference. Yeah. It's just a couple of months down the line. But I feel so frustrated because, like you, I'm work 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And now we're being forced to stop out of circumstance. It's like we're climbing the walls. The first couple of days were lovely. I was thinking, oh, this is brilliant. I'm going to make the most of it. I'm going to really slow down. Sort of 6 days in, I'm a bit like that.
Do you know what? I think that's the thing. Yesterday afterwards, I go live with a fan for a little bit.
Oh, cool.
And then I opened up and I said, actually, on Sunday was my first day that I really struggled. And the messages, because like in the week I've tried to have routine. I go out in the morning, I do my exercise, come back home, and then I'm done for the day. That's me. But Sunday, I got to a point I was like, I don't even feel like getting out of bed. Like, what's my purpose today? And I had a downer. But the messages that I got afterwards of people going on those roller coasters of emotions. What have you felt? Because obviously you said you're filming the documentary. So how have people been telling you stories or?
Yeah, do you know what, without sounding sort of too earnest or whatever, I suppose because of what I do for a living, it gives me real perspective. So I always practice gratitude, and I understand how fortunate and how lucky I am in terms of my freedom and where we live and freedom of speech. So, for example, prior to this, I was making a film with lifers in America. So females that are incarcerated, and it's without parole, so they'll certainly die in prison. Yeah. And I suppose for me, that's having all of your liberties taken away. So we are being asked to stay in, and it is a pain in the arse, and I am finding myself sort of frustrated at times. But generally speaking, it's not a huge deal for me. It's not a huge deal for me because I have a safe home and there's food in the fridge, and, you know, I'm not panicking about the rent. So I sort of try and check myself whenever I sort of think, oh God, you know, I really fancy, I've had enough of this now. I think, do you know what? Compared to lots of other people, you can't really grumble. And I've been trying to sort of get up before 9 a.m. Make sure I have a bath before midday. I mean, if I've done that, it's a miracle. Kev said to me, I might have been yesterday, do you remember the last time you had a wash? I thought, that's not good. But I've got a reasonable amount.
Is he smelling you before we even see you?
I know. But I've got Josh coming round and we're sort of working, so I've got structure, but it's just very surreal, isn't it? And yeah, I mean, the other night was really lovely. We sort of felt really uplifted when, you know, when we were all out sort of clapping for those on the front line. That gave me a real sense of
that moment was so
unity.
Emotional.
Yeah, I agree. And we were saying actually that sort of last time I really sort of felt like that was 2012 when we were all sort of bursting with pride with the NHS when it was the Olympics. And I suppose as well when Gareth Southgate kind of, well, you'll know way more than me, but he sort of took over and we all sort of fell in love with him and our boys again. That was lovely. But I think we've been so divided as a country, you know, are you sort of left or right, Brexiteer or Remainer, It's like we've been very kind of separated in many respects. So let's see, this might be the thing we need to get back on track.
Do you know, because you've just talked about it as well, I do want to talk about you and all your documentaries, because before Strictly happened and everyone got to know you and fall in love with you more, you was already so successful in everything like Stace. I have to honestly say, not even just because you're on it, I loved your documentaries.
Oh, Alex,
I still do. But then you were just on Strictly, it elevated you. But in terms of like the youngsters tuning in now, and I suppose they're having anxieties, they don't know if they're going back to school. They don't know about their grades, and I can hold my hands up. I wasn't the best at school. I struggled. You also, you came away with no qualifications.
Yeah.
But you've gone on to be successful. I managed to go on and be all right and carry on to like keep trying to climb the ladder. But how did you then get into documentaries? How did you know that was you?
So it was really unexpected, I suppose, my career. So like you say, I left school at 15. I didn't have any GCSEs or any qualifications, didn't go to college, didn't go uni, and was sort of a bit of a pain in the ass, sort of a bit of a bratty kid, sort of knew it all, was very, was just very sassy, but not in a good way, just a bit of a shitty kid. But always had like a reasonably decent work ethic, so was always out earning, sort of behind the bar, or you know, collecting glasses or sweeping the hairdressers.
You worked in Luton Airport?
Yeah. So for years I worked at Luton Airport selling perfume to people who didn't want to buy perfume at like 5 a.m. in the morning. I'd be like trying to flog Izzy Miyake to the guy that
Miyake.
Oh no, or like Fahrenheit. Do you remember Fahrenheit? So I was never work shy, but I had no drive or sort of definite ambition. And then this flyer came along, and it was sort of, you know, do you like fashion? Do you like travel? Are you interested in telly? And my mum brought it home actually, and she said, you know, just give them a call. And actually, on reflection now, I know how television works. I'm certain they must have just been sort of rubbing their hands in glee when they heard me on the other end. Just like soundbite, totally unaware, totally sort of hadn't travelled. And anyway, I took
What age were you?
19. So I did my first doc when I was 20. And then it was just meant to be a one-off. I was meant to be a contributor. So yeah, the premise was like sort of take 6 consumers from Britain to India and show us how like our high street garments were produced. And then I found it really moving and just really mind-blowing. And then the guy who was in charge of the Beeb at the time gave me a call and said, really loved you on the show, you know, how do you fancy sort of doing your own gig? And you know what it's like when you get that call, you're like, what? You're certain
Is someone missing
me? You think this can't be real because this is such a treat. And then it just kind of went from there, but just right place, right time really as well, I suppose.
So, but wait, you get that call and then you start making your own documentaries. Tell us about that process, because then there you are, you're from Luton, and then someone basically, go on, make your own documentary. Then what do you think? Like, oh, I'm going to make this documentary, I'm going to do this.
Yeah. So I would, so I suppose the transition was fairly unique, because I don't think before me, BBC Three had done it in such a way. I don't think they'd had a contributor with no sort of journalistic backgrounds or training cross over to make films, essentially sort of current affairs based, documentary based. So there was that awkward kind of, is she a contributor, is she a presenter, is she off the lens, is she straight down the barrel? There was a lot of kind of, we had to play with the style and the tone a lot. But they just asked me what I was interested in. And when I was in India, I sort of stumbled across child labour, and the working conditions were totally unacceptable. And I was sort of genuinely really moved, because I'd been, you know, to Tenerife and Benidorm before I went to India. So, you know, the idea
that there was this, eye-opener.
Yeah, there was this enormous world that I was so unfamiliar with. You know, I felt so much kind of, I just was gutted that people were living in those kinds of conditions, and that was very kind of authentic. And I suppose they were thinking, the commissioner was thinking, well, actually she's very accessible, you know, she's not this kind of 50-year-old guy who's privately educated in fucking beige chinos. Let's try and kind of work with that. And so yeah, we did a film about child labour in Nepal. Oh, can you see me? Maybe charge.
Yeah, we're still there.
So yeah, and then it kind of all kind of materialized from there. Let me plug you in.
Give us some juice. Give us some juice.
There she
but
is.
you know what? You just touched on a really interesting point, Stacey, because I have to admit, I am that person who I've grown up in a council estate as well. Like, I'm from the East End of London, and I think what I saw when I saw you on screen in those early years was someone who I could connect with, if I'm being honest. And I saw this more of it's like a realness. You know, someone that if you ask me a question that I could be like, well, yeah, she understands.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think, you know, I've never been under the illusion that I'm, you know, this kind of special intellect that has a real grasp of what's going on. And, you know, I'm kind of up there with the likes of, you know, I don't know, Nick Broomfield, etc. I understand what my skill set looks like. And I think it's because I'm approachable and very usual and very ordinary. I think that allows the viewer to think, actually, you know, she's not going to kind of preach to us. She's not going to kind of talk to us in a kind of condescending or patronizing way. Let's go with her. And actually, it's never my job to tell people how to feel. It's my job to kind of give the people that are so desperately in need of a platform, and then actually say it's up to you to conclude and kind of come to your own decisions in terms of what you think and what you believe.
But you're never scared as well, because it is real. You're going through that, like with whoever you're interviewing, and you connect, and the emotions get to you as well, and you're not scared to show that.
I know. When I was younger, it definitely felt a bit more self-indulgent sometimes. It was too much about me, and I would get too kind of teary and worked up, I think. But you learn, don't you? And you grow and you evolve, and you then realise that actually this is completely about, you know, the person that you've come to film, and you try and sort of take a step back. But it's hard out. Like I was saying to Kev the other night, we were talking about something, you know, I've seen so much, and I saw so much so young. You know, I've been to Syria, I've been to Iraq, I've been to Honduras, I've been to the DRC. I've seen people, I've seen like such suffering. You know, I've seen dead ISIS fighters. And so I think it would be a bit odd if I didn't still feel through all of those situations.
Do you think in those early years, when you got back home, or on the day that you'd finished filming, but you're still there in the hotel or wherever, was you able to switch off?
Yeah, that's what everyone always says. They always say, like, how do you separate your life from what you've experienced? It is tricky. And I think it's always really important, if you're struggling, to reach out and ask for help. I think sometimes you have to park things and think, do you know what, I'm under no illusion, you know, I can't fix this. I can't single-handedly change the landscape of this country, you know. But all you can do is sort of go over there, make a documentary, bring it to an audience that wouldn't necessarily watch it otherwise, and then go home and look after yourself and kind of entertain the light side of life. And actually, that's one of the reasons I did Strictly. You know, I did Strictly because I've been to Iraq like 3 times, and there were like unexploded IEDs all over the place, which means, you know, you've got to kind of walk in certain areas to make sure you don't get blown up, and, you know, you have to you're sleeping on a roof.
Yeah.
And you think, actually, I need to kind of take time to just be a young idiot and just kind of dress up in feathers and dance like an idiot, and, you know, kind of enjoy the escapism.
That's so true, because you know what, and that's the thing, sometimes, like, it's not being boxed into a certain, but it's exactly how you said, because I remembered, like, I got a message. I went to the Brit Awards, right, and I'm someone, you know, I love music. I love just having fun.
What about us on the tour bus? What were we doing?
Yeah, on the back of the bus.
I can't remember what the song was. I'll have to find it. I've got videos of it somewhere on the phone.
Don't expose us. But yeah, so I went to the Brit Awards, and some of the messages that I got was like, "Oh, you're selling out. Why are you at the Brit Awards?"
Oh, I know.
But it's not selling out. It's like how you just said. It's having an escapism from what you do every day as a job, and then going to have some fun or following another passion, which is nothing wrong with that.
I just think as well, like, it's not the 1940s. Like, women women don't have to just be one thing. It's, you know, that's such an archaic, that's such a Stone Age mentality. It's such a silly view, in my opinion. I think, and do you know what, I sort of got fed up with trying to justify myself. Like, one Strictly, so when I did Strictly, I got hassle, and then when I won Strictly, I got hassle for doing a show about makeup, which actually,
Glow Up.
Yeah, it was so snobby. Yeah, it's called Glow Up, but it was such a snobby kind of approach from some people. They had an issue with me kind of presenting a makeup show. But, you know, these kids were artists in their own right, and they were talented, and why shouldn't their talent be celebrated? You know, it's a lucrative industry. You can travel the world. You know, it's not for us to judge people's passions. And I sort of got the up with that, and I thought, you know what, I don't have to, like, I pay my mortgage, I buy my gear, I'll do my thing. I'm sort of tired of trying to explain myself to 50-year-olds that write for certain papers. I think, oh, I'm not asked. I'm not fussed. Do what you want, say what you want. I'm just going to do my thing.
Would you say that's the biggest growth that you've felt in you as an individual from when you first started, that 20-year-old in documentaries, to you?
Yeah. I care a lot less about what people think. I honestly, unless I love them and respect them and rate them, I'm so not asked about what John 024 Bumblebee thinks about me. I promise you, you could. I don't care. I really don't care. I think you might as well go over there and speak to that wall, because I'm not fussed. Yeah.
That Kev in the background. What's Kev saying?
Kev, what are you saying, King Kev? What are you saying? Look at these two. Oh, fuck, wait. How do I turn it round?
All right.
Wait, I'll finish my tea.
I'm saying that Ricky Gervais said that if you're gonna take every comment that's written, like on Twitter or Instagram, seriously, then you might as well go into every toilet, and any bit of graffiti that's written on a wall, like some opinion that's written on a wall, you might as well take all of that seriously as well. It's
true,
just
it's so
on
true.
a wall. It's just a digital wall.
I love Ricky Gervais.
I was going to say, Stacey, that was you in the toilets growing up. Stacey was
Yeah,
here.
Stacey was here. IDST. If it's right, still true. Yeah, there'll be a lot of that in a Luton Park somewhere.
Wait, let's talk about Strictly, because obviously we've got a lot of Strictly fans here. We've just come off the Strictly tour. But that, Stacey, that on that first week to actually lifting the glitter ball, the growth and the journey, tell us about it.
Look at OT. Hello, darling.
OT.
OT's the reigning champ, actually. So I feel embarrassed now to even talk about it. I'm old hat. So I started. So week one, we had the quick step, right? And the quick step's it's fast, isn't it? And there's sort of a lot going.
I had the quick step on week one. I didn't even know what a chassé was.
I don't know what a chassé is. If only I had a professional in here to show me. What's a chassé? Get away from that bedroom. It's a mess.
I'll do it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, Kev's forgotten all of his moves. So week one, I had the quick step, and I remember Kev saying to me, "Look, it's probably not the easiest dance in the world, but actually, we might as well just go for it." Yeah, no hassle. Like I didn't know the difference between the dances, so for me, it didn't matter particularly. But I loved the whole experience. Like you, I loved the whole experience. I sort of saw it for what it was. I took it and thought, I'm at home for a couple of months. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to throw myself in. I'm going to try my best. And I think because expectations were so low, I was getting through okay, because I think actually it's trickier for the likes of Ashley and Faye, because they're such incredible dancers. There's a real expectation, and people are desperate to see them do incredible routines, where me, they thought she can't dance anyway. So anything was a bonus. But it was magic. Well, you know, Strictly, it was such a special place in my heart. I feel really lucky to have been a part of it.
But do you know what? Do you feel, because I saw a quote from you, which I had to smile, because it's like what I base myself on. And you was like, you don't know anyone that works harder than you. You're the hardest working woman that you know.
Yeah.
And then that's my thing on Strictly. I was like, do you know what? I can't, like me, I could have danced. I don't know what's going on. No, but compared, you know, the likes of, we all know, like, Kareem and everyone, they were incredible.
There's
I was like, all
there?
I can do is just work hard.
Yeah.
This is all I've got.
But I do think the public sort of love you for that. I think they don't mind as long as you give it a good go. I think they're on your side, and they're sort of, you know, they're desperate for you to kind of enjoy the whole series. But
do you know what? Everyone tuning in, what you don't know as well, I think, Stacey, you were there in the audience in like week 3. And the thing is, like, I think, yeah. And then, like, I was putting in the hours. I was just trying. Like, God loves a tryer. I was trying. And I was getting nowhere with the judges. And I think week 3, I was just like, I came up to you afterwards, after the show. I was like, Stace, I don't know what I can do anymore.
That's right.
It was like, sis, just do you. And I was like, yeah.
But I could see you getting disheartened, and I knew exactly where you were, because I had a really shit week on week 2. I did the cha-cha. I mean, it's like a swear word in this flat. It was so embarrassing. I can't even bear to watch it back. It's the most horrendous thing you've ever seen in your whole entire life. It's so cringe. And I remember when I did that and Craig gave me a 4, and I thought, I want the floor to open. I thought, why have I voluntarily put myself in this situation to embarrass myself in front of the entire nation? I was hormonal. I thought I was due on. And I knew what you were going through, and I thought, you know, you just got to keep your chin up and just do your best. That's all we can do.
Yeah, that's literally, from then on, I was just like, how you was just describing earlier, you don't care people's opinions or whatever. I was just like, how you said, you're so lucky to be a part of Strictly. Only a small percentage of people get to do it. I was like, I'm just gonna have the time of my life.
And I loved watching you. What one did I love of yours? Joyful,
that's the one I got sent home on that one. But same reason, I loved it. I love Sister Act 2 with Lauryn Hill.
Was that the salsa?
Yeah, samba.
Samba,
I didn't get to do the salsa.
Samba's a killer.
Wait, have you got something beside you? What we were going to show the viewers? Everyone tuning in.
What am I?
What have you got? The outfit, the Paso outfit.
Oh, I've got the Paso outfit down there.
Show it.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, of course we want to see it.
I've got the Paso outfit, and I've got the show dance outfit. Josh is looking at his phone. Do you need to go?
Oh, no, I was checking. Just got an email.
Oh, okay. 1 minute. Shall I go and get them?
Yes, we want to see them.
Okay. Stay there. The house is a shithole.
So, like, no one's judging you. Say, Paso Dooley. Paso Dooley.
That was my best one, Al.
I loved my Paso. Oh.
Right, BRB.
Okay. Oh, we're falling over.
Sorry. Yeah, you hold it, babe.
Blackout.
Oops.
What's up?
Kev, what's happening?
All right.
Showing us that special Paso. How's lockdown for you? What's your routine saying?
I'm all right with it. Yeah, I think I'm made for self-isolation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've been doing it attempting to do it for years.
And now it's there. Now it's there for you.
Yeah. Oh, here she is. She's got her dresses. Here she is.
Here it is. I haven't had this out in so long. Probably stinks.
We're in isolation, don't we?
I'd say it'd be a miracle if I got this on now. I'm going to roll out the other side of isolation. All I've done is eat.
Every time I keep going to the fridge in the cupboard, hence I've got biscuits sitting here in front of me.
All I've done, Alex. Swear to God, all I've done is eat. Here it is. Stinks.
Wait, stay there. Stay there.
Where's yours?
Paso to Paso.
Hey, that's a Beyonce one. Look at you.
Wait, do a bit of yours.
God, these are both our Paso dresses. And the bar, hello, sweetheart.
All dressed up and nowhere to go. Look at us.
Oh.
I'll walk into shop. This is ours.
What's Kev saying?
No, King Kev.
Go on, you stand there.
No, I don't want to do this.
Do it.
This is this, look.
That was my move. That needs to dry clean. I mean, obviously it's not a priority for right now.
I've still even got my boots and everything.
Oh, well, they'll be handy when we're allowed out down the pub. Here she is.
Say your Paso was your fave?
Paso was my fave, alongside Foxtrot and the Charleston.
Do you know what? When you finished Strictly,
Yeah.
what do you think? Not that anything changed, but what was the difference before when you entered Strictly to when you finished?
The main difference was press intrusion. Yeah. There was suddenly this kind of insatiable appetite for details of my private life, which was really just very unusual and something I sort of hadn't had to contend with prior to Strictly. And I sort of get it, I do, but that's the only downside, really. I loved the experience. I love learning how to dance. I love meeting new pals. You know, I met Kevin, but yeah, all of that kind of pappy vibe. I thought, oh, this is not my scene at all.
Did you have people that then they didn't know about you and your documentaries before, but then you were just like Stacey from Strictly?
Yes, my mum, Alex. It was like I'd never done a day's work in my life prior to Strictly. All the documentaries that I'm so proud of.
You know what?
Met remarkable people. My mum's not asked. She's like, my daughter was on Strictly. Telling everyone at TK Maxx, my daughter was on Strictly.
Do you know what? My mum was the opposite. There's like a local market in the East End called Chris Street Market. So my mum would go down there every day, and then she'd be like, "Ow, I can't even go down to the market because everyone's just talking about you on Strictly. That's all the conversation they want to talk to me about." I was like, "Sods, mum, so."
You know what's beautiful about Strictly though? I feel like, this sounds really cheesy, but I feel like you build a relationship with the general public because it's their show and they adore it, and there's that real sense of ownership. So when you sort of become a part of it, it's almost like they take you under their wing, and it's like you've got, I don't know, Betty and Tesco saying, "Oh, I loved your Viennese waltz, you know, I voted for you," and you so don't take that for granted. So you sort of, you fall in love with the country, I suppose.
Yeah, that is such a lovely side when you have people coming up to you. But then I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't know what more I can say, but I appreciate it so much that they've followed your journey.
What about when they're like, "Oh, we voted for you 20 times.
Yeah.
And then I think, "Oh God, you're probably skint for Christmas. I'm so sorry." They're so sweet. I know. I really, that was a real highlight for me.
Do you think that, right? Because I don't know, like, we love Strictly so much, and when I just look back, I'm just like, wow, it's so magical.
Yeah.
But you're in a Strictly bubble.
Yeah.
So when you come out of that, how did you adjust, or did you need to adjust again?
So interestingly, when I finished Strictly, you know, we were offered lots of different gigs, and I sort of sat down with the lady who looks after me, who's an angel, real sweetheart. And I said, we need to think very carefully about what we do next, because everyone's going to judge our next job. And what I didn't want people to do was assume that I turned my back on the documentaries and was desperate to sort of go for straight entertainment. So actually, the next gig I did a panorama, and I went to Syria and did a documentary. Spent time in two camps, Al Hol and Al Roj, which is where a lot of the IS brides are housed. So that was obviously, rightly so, sort of much more serious. And then I went to the northeast of Nigeria and did a film about Boko Haram. Yeah, and that was probably the scariest job I've ever done. It's just very, very uncertain and very kind of chaotic, and in terms of security, things are changing hour to hour, and a lot of civil unrest there, and there was kind of bombing in the background. I was staying on a site with the UN, and you know, they were very kind of accommodating.
In those situations, have you got to a point where you actually seriously thought you can't continue filming?
Totally.
Because you are actually so scared about your life.
Totally. Yeah, Josh is looking at. What are you laughing at, Josh?
The hotel got attacked in Iraq.
Yeah, tell Alex to start.
Come on, Josh.
I was filming, Alex, I took you to Iraq once. You might not remember this, for Save the Children.
I went to Iraq.
BBC. Hello.
Yeah. Hiya, 2016. 2016 we went.
Yeah, that's it. No, Stacey and I were filming, and basically she just sat down in a hotel in this window to have some lunch, and as she did that, this crowd came down the street and started attacking the hotel, so we had to bundle her upstairs into a room and put mattresses up against the window. You were very good about it.
Oh my gosh.
Or the worst one would be on the helicopter, but you should.
Oh, true. Yeah, there have been so many times where I just think, "God, we've gone too far," but it's always worth it, because I think we always meet wicked women, like the most incredible girls with so much to say, and then at the end of it you're delighted with with the end piece. But yeah,
Some of the documentaries that you've done, Stace, wait, do you even know the number? Like, I think I've done you a disservice, because I was like, oh, over 80 odd or so.
no, but I think it's probably about that. There's probably a few more, because I've done children's docs as well, but I think it's probably around that number. I should know
all of them. What are the 3 that will just always stay with you no matter what?
Okay, my top 3. I did the one about the Yazidi girls. I'm very proud of. So the Yazidi community that live in northern Iraq are just such angels. They have such a I've got a real soft spot for them. And I've actually just made a very good one about female lifers in prison in Iowa, and I'm proud of that. What else have I done?
What is it about like that you just think that is just, it's staying with me forever no matter what? That's a special one.
I think the Yazidi girls are so inspirational, and I think they've been through hell, and they've come out the other side, and they're still so soft, and they're still so kind, and they're still so tactile. And I just think, I don't know how you can live through a nightmare and then still be so lovely. I think that's incredible.
Josh, I don't know if you remember, because it's making me think of like that time when I went to Iraq and we was in the refugee camp, and I'd never experienced anything like that. I was supposed to be going with someone else who was supposed to be joining us, but then he dropped out last minute because it wasn't, well, it was unsafe to go into. But I was like, no, I need to go. And then Stace, the thing was, what touched me, and I got so emotional, but it was happy emotional, because I was in this camp where these kids have absolutely nothing. But like how, you know, the clothes on their back, they don't know how long they're ever going to be in that refugee camp. But Stace, they was running around to try and give me everything.
I know.
Right, and I was just
so
like,
true.
They've got nothing, but they're trying to give me everything.
It's such a cliche, though, that it's like the people that least give you the most, no question, like undoubtedly. There's a good example of this. When I was young, like when I went to, I think it was the Ivory Coast. I was making a documentary about the plantations, and there was this beautiful family that I was staying with, and the mother, she was just such a sweetheart. She had loads of kids, and she said, oh, you know, I've got loads of children, and actually one of them is white, talking about me, you know, and she'd only known me a couple of days, and she was like, come over here, you know, feeding me. And then I was poorly, I got malaria, and I had to be taken into hospital, blah, blah, blah. And then she got her son to go to the market, which is hours away, on a bike ride, to buy a phone card, to put some credit on the phone so she could call the local fixer to see how I was doing. And it was like their life saving. That's what, and they've got no money. Do you know what I mean? And I just think, do you know, yeah, I really,
and you know what, that brings it 480, like 480, 460. 480. We're going more. To actually, like, even explaining everything that we've just done, like, we're in quarantine, we're in lockdown, but I still get to go out for a run every day before I come home.
I know.
You know?
And that's what Kev and I were saying the other night. We mustn't lose perspective. It's like, of course it's not ideal, but do you know what? We're not serving life in prison. We're not in a refugee camp, you know, away from our families. You know, we've got water, there's food in the fridge. You know, and I don't want to sound like, you know, I've been on a gap year or anything, but I recognise, you know, this is not the end of the world for us.
Yeah, for sure. Do you know what? The beautiful thing is as well, my last 2 days, I do like kind of the same run. And the last 2 days, I keep seeing the same two, this couple, this old couple. And every morning, Stace, I run past them. They shout out morning to me.
Oh, I can't bear it. I know.
My heart. But I spend the rest of my run with a huge smile on my face just because they're like, morning, like to me. I'm like,
out there every day.
Yeah, but I love it. Stace, right? You think about your journey, what you've been on from, like how you said, no qualifications, leaving school, to that kind of teenage kid that you were, to your documentary, Strictly continuing your life. Who would play you in a movie?
Probably Catherine Tate.
Hey! I ain't bothered.
It was really funny when I did Strictly, whatever. Catherine Tate, who I'm a massive fan of, I think she's hysterical. Apparently, she did a comedy sketch, sort of taking the piss out of me. So she's got red hair, whatever, and she had big gold hoops in. And she came on the stage, and apparently she was like, "Hello, everyone. Like, oh, sorry, I've been AWOL. I only won Strictly." Like, and I just thought, oh my God, that's such a compliment for her to even know who I am.
Oh gosh, Catherine Tate. I need to Google that. I didn't see that, and I love Catherine Tate.
I didn't actually, but apparently, it was really funny.
Do you know what? Sorry, I've been chatting away, but I need to, because of the time, they boot you off after you've been on for an hour. I have to do some of these questions, what people have sent in.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this for the next 5 minutes before I let you go.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, tuning in.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is from Leslie Morgan. Because we've been on lockdown and everything, what is going to be your first go-to night when we're allowed out?
Oh. Let me think about this. I'm not going to pretend I'm rock and roll because actually I'm never out anyway. But
you're always the first to get up and dance.
I know that is true.
I
absolutely adore dancing. Maybe, do you know what? When we're all allowed out and life is back to normal, perhaps I'll go for something nice to eat and then go for a dance down the road until about 1 or 2 a.m. And then that's when I start to think, oh, what I got in the cupboards? If I got bread for toast, I feel I'm desperate to have a cup of tea. That's when I tend to slide. Yeah.
Some butter, done.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what's in the cupboards. I'm so dull.
You know what? I would say, because normally, because I'm such on a rush, I don't really have breakfast or anything. On lockdown, I've been going to my cupboard and having toast every morning.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sort yourself out, Al.
I've got to stop. I really have got to stop because it's getting complete. I'm like having a couple of breakfasts, a big pasta lunch, then
and then deciding to have a shower when it's like 3 o'clock.
Well, if I have a shower that day, to be honest.
Luby's tuning in.
Hello, sweetheart.
Okay. Oh, we've done that one. Okay, this one is toughest dance from Sophie Shipton. Toughest dance to learn on Strictly.
Cha-cha.
Oh, yeah.
But also samba's hard.
I think samba, because I enjoyed my music. I was just like, whatever, I might be crap at it, but I enjoyed my music. I actually found the passo really hard.
I bet I love the passo.
Oh, I loved it, but I found it hard.
But you were brilliant. That's what you did at Blackpool, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Blackpool. Blackpool's amazing, everyone. Everyone says they want to get to Blackpool.
Yeah.
As soon as I got there, I was like, I understand why.
You're not asked then, are you, if you get any further? You just think, oh, I wanted to
You've had your moment.
Yeah.
Okay, this one is from Hans Olivia Doyle. What has been the best advice someone has given you?
Do you know, interesting, when I started doing my own dogs, I remember very clearly actually someone saying to me, do you know what, Stacey, we've asked you to do this because we want your approach, so don't feel like you've got to conform or don't feel like you've got to kind of mimic journalists. Just sort of do you know, there are thousands out there. If that's what we were after, we'd gone down that route. Just kind of sound, you know, again, but sort of stay true to yourself and sort of do your thing. That's your USP, and actually that served me well. Yeah, that was really useful for me to hear at a young age, because then I think you think, right, okay, let's just try and see how it goes.
Yeah, no, do you know what? Because I think, especially because when you started your docs and how you said there wasn't no one kind of on TV or doing it how you were doing it.
Totally.
So it would have been very easy for you to think, oh, I'm not doing it like they are, or...
Yeah. And you do sometimes, you know what it's like, sort of imposter syndrome sort of sometimes creeps in, but you then start to think, well, actually, I do have the authority to have an opinion on this because I've lived through it, or, you know, I do deserve to be heard on this because I met somebody whose life was directly affected. And then actually your experience gives you the confidence that's required, I think.
Okay. Last one for you. The word queens. Okay. The 2 word queens, sorry. Hardest part about your job.
Hardest part about my job. I'm going to sound like a real brown nose, but it's like, I actually love my job. The only part I don't enjoy, I hate doing the VO, I hate the voiceover.
I don't like voiceovers.
Yeah, I hate voiceover.
Sound like an idiot.
Yeah, I hate voiceover. I think sometimes it's difficult to kind of walk away knowing, you know, you kind of wrestle with Western guilt a little bit. You think, God, I've only sort of done this, I've dipped my toe in, I've been here for 2 or 3 weeks, and I realise this is your reality, and it has been for years. Mm. That can be tricky, but actually then you remember it's not about you, it's about them. So yeah, I love I can't wait to go back to work, Alex. I can't wait. And even though I hate flying, I'm petrified of flying, I really can't wait to get on a plane
to go
to work. I don't know, actually. I had a load of jobs. I was busy up until December, and now I've got nothing. I'm totally unemployed. Alex, the pair of us, what are we going to do?
Starts.
What can we do? Anyway, we'll think about that later. Don't worry too much.
I need to do something.
We could sew your caps.
Yeah, for 6, however many caps.
We could sell them down your mum's market.
Mum, here you go, Chris Street Market. Stace, I have to say
thank you so
much
pleasure
for coming on.
No, my pleasure. Good luck, darling.
I absolutely love you. I hope everyone tuning in. Thank you, Stace, giving up your time.
Pleasure. Who have you got tomorrow?
Oh, we're going to reveal that in a minute. I'm going to go live with someone. And all right. I'll leave you to say bye to everyone. And then
I will.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, Josh. Bye, Kev. Wherever he's
Bye, darling. Bye, sweetheart.
Stace, love ya.
Bye, darling.
Bye.
Bye, babe.
What an absolute ledge. Hope you all enjoyed that chat. I did try to get through most of your questions. The ones that were coming up we'd already covered. So sorry if I didn't give you a shout out. But now that part of the Scotty Talks live is I'm going to randomly, let's go live with someone. I've actually got Olivia's picture from yesterday. Right, who we got? Who wants to go live? Let's do this. Okay, got someone. Don't think it's connecting. Come on. Who's going up? Guys, it doesn't seem to be. Oh. Doesn't seem to be working. Oh no. This is the picture I do need to send out. Let's see. Go live with this person. Who have we got? Hey! Hi, Alex. How's it going?
How are you?
What's your name?
Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. Did you enjoy the live with Stacey?
Oh yeah, it was really good.
Did you?
It was good to hear like how both of you struggled with different dances because like as a viewer, it's hard to see that like in the 30-second clip you get like before you dance.
I really struggled with the passo. I think even up till the night before, I was still worried that I wasn't going to be able to do it right. Like I was still making mistakes in like the certain bits that we had to do, the breakdowns and everything.
Oh, it looked really hard. Like the hand movements look really like intricate.
Have you watched every season of Strictly?
Most of them. It's really hard. Like I watch football as well, and like seasons, they all sort of like blur together. So you always have to think about who was with who and when.
Wait, how has lockdown been for you? Are you holding up?
All right. I'm a teacher, so it's really hard to like get the kids to be doing things while I'm at home, like on my laptop, replying to emails.
Yeah. You just reply to emails? How are you checking in with them?
So we have websites that we like put the work on, and they have to email it over to us. Then we give them feedback, but it's really difficult.
So there's no like FaceTiming or anything. It's just they send in the work and then you just give feedback.
Yes, they email the work over. We give them feedback. But it's really difficult because in my school there's like 1,800 kids, so it's really hard.
So this is an interesting one because I swear I've got a niece, the same thing. Now she's not in school. I swear some kids feel like it's a holiday, like they're on holiday so they don't have to do the work.
Yeah, and it's hard because you get so many emails. You're like, how am I meant to check the other like 1,000 kids that have not done work?
Yeah, can you talk to my niece? And she's most probably not tuning in anyway. But those kids that think, no, don't worry, I don't have to do my homework.
Oh, you'll regret it in September. You'll be so far behind and you'll have to be like doubly working hard. So just get it done now. Spend like 3-4 hours like and just get it done.
Says me, I need to go do my Spanish homework. I'm trying to learn Spanish. I am struggling.
I'm no good with languages. No good.
Well, I want to say thank you for joining in to Scotty Talks, and I'll get a photo, sign it up, and then I'll send yours out at the end of the week along with Olivia's to her. So if you just send me your address and then I'll send one over.
Fabulous, thank you.
Have a good evening.
And you.
See ya. Guys, all done for this evening. Oh, I want to say thank you. Actually, earlier, someone telling me I've dressed up like Mario tonight. Yeah, sure thing, Mario. I used to love playing Mario Kart. Mario Kart was ledge back in the day. So I'll have to change up the outfit tomorrow. Tomorrow's guest, before I do go, is Samantha Barks. Samantha Barks was in Les Mis. Obviously, we were on Bear Grylls together. So we'll talk about all our friendship, how that developed, and then obviously all the theatre shows she has been in. She is absolutely incredible. So you definitely want to hear her story. Another amazing, inspiring woman that can give us all some tips, just like Stacey did tonight, and tell us all about her journey. So one last thank you for tuning in to episode 5 of Scotty Talks Live. Samantha Barks tomorrow. Then we will go back to sport. And then end the week on Friday. Everyone, we're in this together. Stay strong. Keep smiling. I am out. See you all later. Bye. Have a good evening.